So are you going to send the agenda? Because I have no idea what the word of the day or the theme. I have no idea what you're doing.
Welcome to the 156th meeting of professional speakers, where eloquence meets impact. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence. Today, we have some guests, not only from India, from across borders. First of all, I would like to request Petra Choradol, DTM, to kindly introduce herself briefly.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Petra from Thailand. I joined Toastmaster 1st of March 2001. So I've done Toastmasters for 20 years. I'm a slow learner. That's why I'm still learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Petra. May I now request our past member, Priyanka. She has left. Okay, may I now request Toastmaster Seema to introduce herself very briefly.
Yeah, hello, hi everyone. I'm Seema, and I am soon going to become member, I believe, of professional speakers, because last time I received a call from Rupinder sir to play a role of counter. However, I'm still in dilemma whether I'm part of it or not. Otherwise, I am a fantastic and mind-blowing person. Like, I'm fun-loving person, and I love to surround myself with erudites and to become the better version of myself. And yes, to look forward to learning from all of you. Thank you so much.
Seema, may I now request Toastmaster Ashok Kumar to give his introduction very briefly. Toastmaster Ashok Kumar. May I request our past member, Toastmaster Priyanka Gupta, to introduce herself. Priyanka.
Good evening, sir. It's Tisha here. Actually, Mama is just coming in a while, and I'll ask her to introduce her.
Okay.
Tisha, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tisha, and I'm a Gavalier. I'm from New Delhi Gable Club, and I'm here because Mama is not here right now. But I love PS, and I love attending your meetings. It is a great learning opportunity for me, and it's a pleasure being here.
Thank you, Ishita. And I would like to request all of the members present in the meeting, members and guests, to kindly put their videos on so that we can see each other and we can enjoy the meeting fully. Once an employee is asked to visit the CEO of the company when he came late. As soon as he entered the room of the CEO shouted, "Rahul, is it the time to come to office? When all the people have already started working, you are just coming. They have done almost half of their work." Rahul said, "Sir, there is rain outside. I got stuck. The transports are not moving. Vehicles are not moving on the road. What could I do? There was no other option. I had to wait in the taxi in which I was sitting. You have been making so many pretensions. You have been speaking false. You have been speaking lie. You have been lying since many days. What is this? What is happening with your life? Is there some problem?" "No, sir, there is no problem. I'm telling you, this is the truth, that I got stuck due to rain. But by the way, I saw you in a movie theater with Alpana, our employee. What were you doing there, sir?" "Rahul, you should mind your own business. This is not the thing to discuss. When I'm asking you to explain your fault, when you are asking you to explain why you are late, you are telling me something different." "Sir, I'm telling you the right thing, because yesterday I saw you with one of the lady employee in one of the theaters. What were you doing there? I don't owe you any explanation. Similarly, you should understand that I am late and there is some reason. My dear friends, this is how the situation changes. Somebody who was shouting on someone changes the position and he's now being shouted at. So change is inevitable. Change may come due to external or internal factors. Today, we have our Toastmaster of the day, Sonika Jha, who shall be telling us about the theme embracing change. But before that, we shall conduct our section 1 of our meeting, which is business segment. Business segment is the introspection of the members about their activities which they had done last week for accomplishing their short-term goals. Now, what is short-term goals and why these short-term goals are decided? Short-term goals are the first steps for reaching to a level when we think that what we want to be after 10 years in our life. So if I want to be an eloquent speaker or an established speaker or paid speaker, I have to take these small steps in short periods. So I have to decide some short-term goals for that. Today, we shall be talking about our short-term goals and what activities or actions we had taken during the last week and where we are in the short-term goals. For that, I shall be sharing my screen. Are you able to see my screen? Okay, thank you. Anisha. Is Toastmaster Anisha there? Mukesh Thakur, DTM.
Good evening, everyone. I am Mukesh Thakur, and my short-term goal at Professional Speaking is to record my videos. For the first 50 days, I recorded my videos for 1 minute. After the 50 days, I am recording for 5 to 7 minutes of impromptu speaking. Now it has been 68 day I have completed, and my target is to complete it for 100 days. I need an active member for monitoring my skill and making me reach my destination. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mukesh Thakur, DTM. Hello, everyone. I'm Raj Mehta. My short-term goals are 3. Number 1, to make 1 or 2 videos of 5 to 10 minutes. Last week, I made two videos of about 10 minutes, both of them, and to write 5,000 words in the form of some story or some article or some novel. So I have been writing 2 novels, in fact, and I was able to, must have been written, 5,000 or more words. And third short-term goal is to read minimum 2 pages in a book, so that in such a way that each and every word of those 2 pages is pronounced correctly. So I was able to do it. I have been, maybe last week I must have read around 20 pages. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, sir. Good evening. I have one SMART goal that I've set for myself, which is to have 0 defect for time limits. And my most recent occurrence, I exceeded the time limit by 9 seconds again. I hope to improve in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Rolly Senior DTM. Do we have Rupinder?
No, sir, I think we can move on.
Sonika Jha.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Last week was very busy for me. I could not even listen to a single podcast, and I wonder like if I'm like not able to take out even 15 minutes. That's a little terrible. I will try to be back on track, but yeah, I could not listen to even a single podcast last week.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonika Jha. I just saw that we also have our new member,
Avantika.
Avantika. So I shall be adding her slide also so that she can also give. Avantika, would you like to say something about your short-term goals?
Hi, good evening, everyone. So for me, my short-term goal is to work on my technical podcast and put my content up together. I have a plan of getting something going by the end of October. So I just have to work towards it. Yeah.
Thank you, Avantika.
Thank you.
Okay. So moving on, let's all welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Sonika Jha.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Sonika Jha is a communication specialist at Renew Power, India's largest renewable energy company, headed by Sumant Sena, who is also a member of governing council of the organization in which I am working. She is Bachelor in Information Technology and Master in Management and Liberal Arts. Sonika Jha is the past president of Toastmaster Club of New Delhi, and her interests are reading and discovering great content and listening to podcasts. Let's all welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sonika Jha.
Thank you, Ratsa, for that introduction. Good evening once again to all the members today who have joined. And I think it's a lovely day today. It started raining since morning. It has been raining since morning. I feel there's a air of refreshment, and I hope things are great at your end as well. Right. So currently we all are in this pandemic era. Now it has almost become an era starting from last March and still continues. We don't know when it's going to end, but we're just hoping that good times come. But all this while, we have been changing, pivoting, and moving into different directions in order to find mental peace, in order to fight this pandemic in some or the other way. So when I say the word embracing change, what is so special about it? Can anyone guess why it says embracing change? Anyone?
Getting adapted to the situation that we are moving. For example, we are getting used to online environment like that.
Yes. So very well said, DT Mukesh Thakur. The change could be something that we can hate if it's bad, we can love if it's good. But today we'll definitely talk about the positive change, and that's why it said embracing the change. Not all changes are good. Some are bad. Some are not something that you look forward to, but they happen to you. So embracing change means that do not look at the adversities as something that will pull you back in life or will make you hate something. But it is about, if the change has come, how can you take that as an opportunity and grow in your life? So it's all up to you how you condition your mind, how you condition yourself to take it. But remember, it says embracing change and not hating change. There are two important words that actually come to my mind when I say change. It could, when I say a negative change. So the two words are setback and failure. Can again someone tell me what's the difference between setback and failure?
Setbacks is sorry.
No, please go ahead. It's okay.
Setback is only a challenge that we are facing, and failure is that we have stopped.
Yeah, I can refine it. So failure is when you do not meet a certain deadline, expectation, or something that you think is the definition of success, and you do not reach there, it becomes a failure. And a setback is external, which is like an obstacle, something that denies you of an opportunity, and that is not created by you. So failure could be little personal and setback is external. So sometimes we confuse both these words and end up blaming ourselves. Well, that's not the right thing. That's why focus on embracing change. We'll learn about it more, but before that, I would like to tell about the structure of the meeting. So first, I will call one by one the role players of the meeting who will help us conduct a smooth meeting. Then we will have prepared speech section, and thereafter we'll have table topic section, and finally we'll end with the roundtable general evaluation. So now calling the first role player of the day, or I mean of the meeting, that's the timer. Can I call DTM Avantika, and she's a debutant here in our club, so welcome. Yeah, go ahead. DTM Avantika, can you hear me?
I can, but I'm not taking any role today.
Okay. So has there been a change in the role? Can someone indicate that? Who's playing the role of timer? Is someone playing? So I can get the name of the person.
You can request some of the guests. Some of them are already Toastmasters, like Priyanka. So Priyanka can be requested for playing some role.
They can write in the chat box in case they're taking up the role.
Sir, actually, Mama is kind of occupied right now. She's a passive member. She's just coming and going again and again because there are guests coming over today. So she's a bit occupied, but it's fine. I can take the role.
Okay. Ishita can take the role of the timer.
Okay, so that's Ishika today playing the role.
It's this year. I'll just type
Yeah.
out my.
Okay. Actually, Raj sir said that, so I kind of like got confused. So it's Tisya. So Toastmaster Tisya,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are the timer for the day. Okay. Now calling the counter Toastmaster Seema.
Yes. Hi, good morning. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to be the counter. So I'll be keeping a track of all the crutch words, such as, which are generally used in order to fill the gap or when one is unable to collect the data in his or her mind. So I'll be keeping a track of it, and I'll be giving my report as and when TMOD is going to ask me to represent. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Seema. I now would like to call the grammarian, but for that, I need to know who's the grammarian. So who is the grammarian today?
Petra.
Hello,
Hi, Petra.
it's Petra, Toastmaster of the day.
No, so I said grammarian of the day.
Myself, I am a impromptu grammarian of the day.
Okay, great. That's the first time we are hearing someone saying impromptu grammarian. Sure. You want to talk about your role? You can do that.
Well, my role is to observe the great use of English and also to try to spot some misuse. But so far, all of you have been so fluent Congratulations.
Great. Thank you, Petra, for that and taking up the role today. Thank you. Well, coming back to the theme of embracing change, I think from my own experiences, I have few lessons, and I bring them in the form of when the change comes and you embrace it, you actually move towards development. I remember back in 2018 when I was in my first job and somebody told me about this unique MBA program called the Vedika Scholars Program for Women, an all India MBA women oriented master's program that nobody had heard of. But I was inclined towards the program and the kind of culture they had, and actually landed up being a Vedika scholar, and that gave me immense learning and has given me so much exposure that I think that had I not done it, I wouldn't have been today like this person today that I am. I'm sure there must be experiences that led to a lot of development in you as a person when you embraced a change. So anyone, if you would like to give an example, your personal example. Anyone wants to share? No, or should I only continue? Yeah, Petra, go ahead. Go ahead.
You mean about embracing the change, right?
Yes.
I think one prominent example is the COVID.
Yeah.
It's a change that no one is ready for, or we are not happy about this change.
True.
But the thing is, regardless of how bad it is, we will have to embrace the change because we cannot change it.
True.
That's the reason. So embracing the change doesn't mean you love it, but it means that you accept it as it is, and then you become flexible and try to do something to make it positive as positive as possible. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you. Now, finally moving to towards a prepared speech section where we have this first speaker, DTM Mukesh Thakur. His speech is from level 3, Understanding the Vocal Variety. DTM Mukesh Thakur, LSM, DTM Mukesh Thakur.
The world will keep you surprising with its grace if you let it. We all are human beings, and all of us are keep running one after another. You find any person in this world and you will find they are running, and every time everyone is running late. You will find that everyone is something or after another thing. And that is how I was running to reach my coaching class center on 16th of July 2002. I wanted to meet my coaching class teacher, Mr. Vinod Saravgi, because I had to say some news to him. I was in a hurry. I was trying to tell this news before my family members or any of them. I was running. Just 1 year ago to 16th July 2002, I was again running to his coaching class. And this time I was running because he was waiting for me after leaving everything else to teach us, and we were late for half an hour. Mr. Vinod Saravgi, who was a bank cashier at the State Bank of India, was running his coaching center before going to his bank in the morning and after leaving the bank at the evening. When I was aspiring to become a chartered accountant, everyone in the town discouraged me. Mr. Vinod Saravgi was the only person who said it easily. Yeah, you can do it. It's easy. Everything was going fine till the time destiny had something else in its wallet for me. And on one fine day, I decided to stop going to the coaching classes. Because a few days ago, I talked to my mom, and my mom said that the family is in some financial crisis, and we cannot afford to pay rupees 150 as the monthly fees for the coaching classes. At one side, I had an aspiration. I was putting my entire efforts. At other side, there was a teacher who was seeing some hope inside me. And at the other side, I was unable to get to the coaching classes. I did not want to confront this issue. I was trying to stop this embarrassment. Hence, I decided I would not join the class. Next day, my friend Prabhakar reached my home, and he said, "Sir has given me this task to bring you to him, produce to him at any of the cost." Next day, I reached to Mr. Saravgi, and he asked, "Why did you not come to class yesterday?" I told him the reasons and said that my family is not going to afford this monthly fees. He said, "If you don't have rupees 150, don't pay it to me. How much amount you can afford, pay it to me. If you cannot afford a single rupee, you don't have to pay. But you don't have an option to stop coming to my class." I started going to the classes, and since then, at the end of every month, when he would rigorously follow up with every student sitting in front of him for the payment of tuition fee, he would purposefully start with the other corner from where I am sitting, and he would rigorously ask from every student, "Why you have not paid the fees to me yet?" When he will reach to my turn, he would just pretend, "Now I am tired, I do not want to follow up anymore," just trying to avoid the embarrassment that I would have got from this follow-up. Everything just went fine. We completed our course and we appeared in the examination. We conducted everything fine. Everyone in the town knew what would be the results, including my family members. Only thing that I did not want to do was to let down Mr. Saravgi, because he had some hope in me. And so that day, on 16th of July 2002, I was running because the result was declared. I wanted to tell him the news that something has happened. When I reached to his coaching class, he saw me coming, and he was taking a class at that time. He stopped the class at that moment, and he ecstatically said, "You passed, didn't you?" I smiled. He just rose from his seat, came and hugged me. There was a complete silence for 1 minute. We did not know what to say. The communication failed at that moment of time. I felt a sense of paradise because I did not let him down when nobody was hoping anything from me. We keep running from every moment. We keep running every time as a human race, and still there are something that are parallelly going with all of us. When you stop running blindly, and you will see that there is a different perspective to this life. There are more things going than just running to the competitions and in the race, that when we all are trying to get ahead of each other, there are different sense that are going in the entire universe. And in that moment, you will find a sense of Elysium, a sense of paradise, a sense of paradise. And then when you see worlds with a different perspective, you will find the entire world is working for you. The world will keep you surprising with its grace if you let it. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. And now we'll have a pause of 1 minute where all of you will write feedback for DTM Mukesh Thakur's speech, and we'll discuss it towards the end. Timer, please indicate when 1 minute is over. Timer is 1 minute over.
Yes, it is.
Sure. Now talking about the next aspect, the second aspect of embracing change is that you encounter your fears and you overcome them. I still remember when I was studying management, there were new subjects like finance, economics, which I had never studied as an engineer, somebody coming from a technical background, and I really feared all of that. But as soon as I accepted that this change is inevitable and I have to study the subject, my interest grew automatically and I performed really well. It was just that I was fearing maybe I'm not meant for it, just because I thought I was not meant for it. But once I tried, I challenged myself and overcame my fear that yes, I can learn something new even at the age of 25. So that is how you overcome your fear. Now we have the second speaker of the day with a very interesting title. But before that, let me talk about the level and the path that he's doing this project from. The next speech is by DTM Raj Mehta from Level 3 Project 1, Effective Coaching. DTM Raj Mehta, sexy DTM Raj Mehta. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. How are you doing? I'm sure most of you must have thought that I will start my speech with this dialogue of Joy Tribbiani of Friends. But my dear friends, my speech is not about how you're doing, but about something totally different. What is that? It is about the selling experience with expert Yobish. Now, who are expert Yobish? Expert Yobish are the people who will make you fool on cyber. And this is what happened with me. About a year back, all of us, that is all my family members, decided to sell off our old furniture. We had purchased this furniture, which composed of one center table with 7-seater sofa and one dining table with 6 seats, with 6 seats, and all of them had costed us around 25,000 rupees. So center table with 6-seaters, 7-seater sofa had costed us 16,000 rupees, and the dining table with 6 seats had costed us 10,000 rupees. And we realized that today's cost of these two articles is around 50,000 or so. And then we thought that we can easily sell it for 20,000 rupees and we shall not be at loss. And this is where we made a mistake, because this is where greed came in us. We posted our pictures of our furniture on eBay and OLX. And we received a call from a person whose name was Aman Tapish Mehra. This is what he told us to us. And in short, he wanted us to call him ATM. He said that he was ready to take both the sets of furniture, that is dining table with seats and also center table with sofa set. We agreed, and then he said that he was ready to take both the items at 25,000 rupees. We just wondered that why he didn't bargain. And taking benefit of that, we just offered them some more articles like a peg table and 2 small tables and some more articles which we thought we can dispose of. And you believe it or not, to every article we were adding in the list, he was saying yes. Whatever price we were telling, he was saying yes. We all got happy because we thought that we are going to get rid of our old furniture. Next day, I called him from office and I said that he should transfer the money to me. First, he said that since he has a shop and he would like to visit us and then take an inspection of the articles, and then only he will make the payment. But after half an hour, he called me back and said, okay, he was ready to make the payment. And then he said that he would be making the payment in parts. After 5 minutes, he sent me a snapshot showing that he had made me a payment of 90,000 rupees over Paytm. I just felt that it was done. Then he said that rest of the money he cannot make the payment of over Paytm, and he would like to make the payment over Google Pay. I said, I do not have Google Pay. Then I said that, but my daughter has Google Pay. So I gave my daughter's name to number to her. He called my daughter who was at home, and he said that he wants to make the rest of the payment to my daughter on Google Pay. And thus he asked for credentials of a Google Pay account of my daughter. And my daughter gave it to him. That guy said that he was not able to make the payment. Thus, he asked my daughter to make a payment of 6,000 rupees. And once he would get that payment, he would be able to activate my daughter's account with his account, and he will make the payment. My daughter transferred 6,000 rupees to his account. After that, he said he's trying to transfer the remaining 29,000 rupees and to my daughter, but he was not able to get it. So he said that my daughter should transfer 29,000 more rupees to him. Then my daughter called me at office and said, father, that guy ATM is asking me to transfer 29,000 rupees. I have already transferred 6,000 rupees. And in order to match both the amounts, he wants us to transfer 29,000 rupees. This is where I got banged. I thought that there was something wrong. I just asked my daughter not to give any more information to him and just stop talking to him. We had already been duped by that person. And this is how we got under. We lost 6,000 rupees. We thought that we should complain to police station. My daughter called at the Paharganj police station. The policeman asked some question, and then he said, ma'am, this is cyber crime. We have been receiving such complaints from many people, but the holding such people or catching these people is not so easy. So whatever has happened, just forget it. Is not going to help. At the most, what we can do, we can file a report, and then we shall be try to follow it up. But it is a cyber crime, and these people have been very clever, and they won't be. So we won't be able to catch it. After hearing this from a police officer, my daughter got so much disappointed, and not only she, but all of us, because we thought that if this is the situation, or this is the mindset of the people who are going to enforce the law, how would they help, or how would they expect us to handle such crimes on the cyber? Whatever has happened, But my point of telling this story is that be careful while handling payments or while making payments to unknown people. Do not trust them. Trust them only when you have full knowledge about them. Thank you very much. Over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Raj Mehta, for that speech. And now I will talk about the last aspect of embracing change and will end my session. Embracing change is nothing as we all have discussed about being positive, about embracing change and taking everything that comes as an opportunity. But what is the most important thing is that you should be prepared for it. And if not, then how do you prepare yourself during the time to embrace the change? Preparedness is very important. In case that requires you to seek someone's help, someone who can counsel you, someone who can guide you, someone who can provide you with resources to accept the change, please reach out to them. Don't feel that you're alone. We are in this together, and we shall make sure that change is endured, even at personal or at a collective level, we shall thrive. So always take that change in a positive manner and embrace it. That's all from my side today, signing off as Team Modi. But before that, I would like to call upon DTM Rupinder Singh for the table topic session. So DTM Rupinder Singh, I hope you're ready. Over to you.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, I will not be able to turn on my more camera today. In table topics, I'm pretty sure that all of us are familiar with the rules. It's 1 to 2 minutes of speaking with 30 seconds grace on the upper side. We have a green flag at 1, a yellow flag at 1 minute 30, and a red flag at 2 minutes. I will pick and choose my speakers. And I see a very young Priyanka Gupta. I'm going to start with her. Tisya, can you unmute yourself?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You are audible and you are visible. So Tisya, I consider you as a Toastmaster. So I am going to give you a topic that is not going to be easy. Let me know if you're not able to follow it. Give you an alternate topic.
Someone need to time.
Yes, my mother can time.
Okay. So Tisya, one of the biggest paradoxes of life is that change is the only constant. The only constant thing is change. And that is your topic for today. Tisya, change is the only constant. Change is the only constant. Tisya.
We all tend to make mistakes in life, and those mistakes give us the way of living life, and it makes us a better human. When I was in class 8, I did some mistakes as a student or as a teenager, you would say. And because of that, things didn't go well in my school. And I wanted to change my school and I wanted to get a new fresh. So I asked my mother that can I change my school? She said, not now, you're too young right now. Wait till you get till 10. And in 11th, almost everyone changed their school. So I was all ready to get my best board marks so that I can go to the best school I always dreamt to. And by God's grace, I did get good marks in class 10. And now, currently this year, I went to a new school. While I was calling a friend, I asked him that you're such good in academics. Why don't you go and change your school, a better one? But he was like, no, I am happy with my friends and I cannot embrace any change. I don't want to lose any more friends. That's where he went wrong. Today, I am in India, one of the best schools of Delhi, that is DPS RK. It is very difficult to get there, but I did because I did not care that whatever changes might happen, it will make me weaker or I won't be able to get to myself. So I would just say that it is better that we embrace change, because the life we are living in is all about changes, and the sooner we learn to get to know changes and embrace them, the better it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tisya. I will take up a word from your speech, and I will have that include that in the next topic. And I choose Avantika Narayan for her first ever table topic. Avantika, if you can unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hi, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Avantika, your topic for today. A mistake repeated is a habit. A mistake repeated is a habit. Avantika.
A mistake repeated is a habit. All of us make mistakes. Some of us think we are perfect in the first go itself. And I don't think we can be perfect without making mistake over and over again. It happens to us a lot of times. We've heard the story of all the great minds making mistakes 10,000 times before they figured it out the right time. So does that mean that the second time they perfected it? Absolutely not. We've seen the most recent case of our Olympics itself, right? We have our athletes who's aiming for the gold. They think they made a mistake, but they ended up with no medal, some of them. But is that a mistake? No. Every lesson, every leg in the game of life teaches us something. It teaches us different things. It teaches us to evolve in our perspectives. And that's what it is. Whether you repeat it the second time or multiple times, that's not going to make it a habit. Habit is only going to happen if you stop learning, in my opinion. And habit it's a perspective, right? So to everybody who is thinking that they want to be perfect at something, I would only say one thing: continue making mistakes, but learn fast from it. Learn fast and fail very fast, so that the lessons can also be really good. That's it, and back to you, Rupinder.
Thank you very much, Avantika, for that topic. And I see that you used the word learn. I am going to ask Raj Mehta to unmute himself. Raj Mehta, since I know that you are also a trainer, here is my topic for you. Raj Mehta, a teacher is a learner first. A teacher is a learner first. Raj Mehta.
Thank you, Table Topic Master Rupinder Singh, DTM. Not only a teacher, every person is a learner. And without learning, we cannot impart knowledge or education or training to others. We learn before we teach to others. And for our learning, maybe from our students, maybe from our society, maybe from our experiences, and it may also be from our academic efforts. It may also be from our colleagues, from different communities like Toastmasters and others. Learning is a continuous process. Even if somebody has become a teacher, he or she continues learning. Today, when I talk that I am a trainer, yes, I give training or entrepreneurship development, innovation, and incubation. And my trainees are mostly budding entrepreneurs who do not have the courage to go to the market. And what is happening that since I have the experience of coordination in incubator, IDL incubator for about 19 years, I have encountered or faced or talked or interacted with many incubators who have been successful in their incubation, and after that they have moved out to the market, competitive market, and they are doing very well, good business. So my learnings are from those entrepreneurs who are doing very well. At the same time, my learnings are also from the people who could not do well in the market, who failed after incubation, but from the learning, my learnings also combined from them as well. So though I'm a trainer, but my learnings are from my incubators who have either been successful after incubation, or they have failed, because success and failures both teach the learnings equally. And this is where the teacher takes the learning and tell it to the budding entrepreneurs or the budding trainees. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now I am going to ask Priyanka Gupta, the elder, to please unmute herself and get ready for a speech. Lovely to see you back, Priyanka, for such a long time. So you have to unmute for that to work, Priyanka. See, I told you it works when you
I'm
unmute
so
yourself.
happy to be at Professional Speakers. Missed
Excellent.
it so much.
Excellent. So Raj Mehta talked about failures.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm not going to give you a topic on failure, since the topic that I gave to Avantika was effectively around failures. I'm going to derive from that defeat. Okay. And here is a topic for you. Priyanka Gupta, no defeat is final, not until you stop trying. No defeat is final, not until you stop trying. Priyanka Gupta.
Hello, everyone. Well, I'm a firm believer that in every competition, either you win or you learn. Defeat is nowhere to go. So there's duplication of voice. Just a minute. Tessia, will you mute your? I'm so sorry. Can I start again?
Sure.
Okay, let me start again. Well, I am a firm believer that either you win or you learn. You never feel defeated. Every time you try, you learn something. If I tell about myself, when it was my first time, when I came to Toastmasters, and like today, I got my first table topics, I froze. And it was a long journey. I joined Toastmasters in year 2016. Since then, I have achieved various educational, I'm even forgetting the term. Actually, I had been CC, ACB, and I've been area director, I've been a president of club, but since 2 years, I'm away from Toastmasters, maybe more than 2 years. And I'm feeling the same feeling today, but I don't feel defeated. That was the day when I spoke for the first time. The club members encouraged me to speak. And again, today, standing on this stage, I feel that till the time I don't stop trying, I won't feel defeated. So I'm learning, but I will win someday. I'm sure about that. Thank you so much.
You will win, Priyanka. Right now, all you need to do is come back to Toastmasters and we'll take care of everything else. I now take on Sonu Chetri. Sonu, are you ready?
Yes, Rupinder.
So Priyanka spoke about believing in herself, and the next topic is around belief. Sonu Chetri, persistent is a measure of your belief in yourself. Persistence is a measure of your belief in yourself. Sonu Chetri.
Thank you, Rupinder. Hello, everyone. So I am guest today, and I was past Toastmaster, so I joined back exactly somewhere around 1 year or so after a break. Yes, I think rightly perfect topic. So basically, believing in yourself is very important. So personally, for me as well, if I could not have believed myself about my studies, about my educations, about my office's works, whatever came my way, I first believed it on myself and then executed it. So I think it happens with everyone of us, whoever are here. So nothing is impossible if you believe in yourself first. And definitely, what I realize is if you start believing in yourself, other people start believing in you as well. So definitely, so that is the first thing which needs to be checked box before doing anything or before executing any work. So, and once you believe in yourself, definitely consistency, persistence, perseverance, and all things will come your way. And whatever you are up to, just believe in yourselves and go for it. Likewise, now I am believing in myself that yes, I can now restart my Toastmasters journey. And it's been a 1 year good break. So I'm believing in myself and then thinking to start this learning journey once again. Over to you, Bhupinder.
Thank you so very much, Sonu. Yes, persistence is a measure of your belief in yourself. Thank you so very much. And rightly said, welcome back to Toastmasters. Now let me choose my next victim. Let us choose an incoming member. Seema, if you could unmute yourself.
Yes, please.
Okay. Seema, here is a topic for you. It's a quote that I deeply believe in. And the quote is, the best apology is changed behavior. The best apology is changed behavior. Seema.
Thank you so much for this beautiful quote and this opportunity. Well, I firmly believe that the best apology is changed behavior, because if someone is really apologized, then he or she would definitely change the behavior, and he or she will definitely make sure that whosoever he or she has hurted is not going to hurt again. It will show his compassion. It will also show the love, care, and affection, because when a person gets hurt himself and he or she realizes that how other person is realizing, that is known as empathy, then the person who is actually the one who really want to move one step further, it's not going to do the same thing, because someone has also stated making mistake is not a blunder, but repeating is. Thereby, whether we want to be good at professional front, personal front, or be it anywhere, we need to realize and understand our emotions, at the same time understand others, be empathetic, and when we apologize, we need to be sincere enough, because apologizing again and again does not make sense. And similarly, putting a knife on someone's neck and cutting it and saying sorry and sorry and sorry is not going to make that person alive. On the contrary, it's important to understand oneself and always never ever do unto others which he or she does not want himself or herself to be done. So all in all, I would say that yes, the best apology is to change one's behavior, not only towards others, but towards himself as well, because the real change occurs within oneself. And Mahatma Gandhi also once stated, be the change you want to see in the world. And if you want to be respected, then give it first. And if you want yourself to be loved, then give it to others and you will be loved. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. You robbed me of a topic. I was going to have the change you want to see as one of the topics. May I request Petra from Thailand to please unmute herself? Hello, Petra, are you there?
Sawadika, yes.
Okay. Petra, Seema mentioned empathy in her speech. And here is a topic for you. I'm also sending it on chat. The highest form of knowledge is empathy. The highest form of knowledge is empathy, Petra.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. The highest form of knowledge is empathy. Wow. That is a very thought-provoking topic. The knowledge is not gaining more knowledge, but the knowledge in the highest form is empathy. Can you imagine a class of 20 or 30 students? And there will be some excellent students most probably sitting in the front rows, and there will be some very slow learners sitting in the back row. Who do you think the teacher should pay attention to teach more? In my opinion, if I were that teacher in that classroom, I would pay attention to teach, to find good examples that the back row students can relate to more than the front row excellent students. Because the real knowledge, the highest form of knowledge that you can impart to people is the empathy, is the understanding from the teacher how the slow learners, the less privileged people sitting at the back could learn better. So I do agree with the statement that the highest form of knowledge is actually in the empathy, and the highest form of knowledge can goes outside of classroom. It doesn't have to be in the classroom for slow students. It could be your partner, your friends, your family. When you give each other knowledge, if you give it with empathy, that's the highest form of knowledge. Mr. Table Topic Master.
And that was so empathetically spoken. Thank you so much, Petra. Madam General Evaluator, do we have time for more topics, or do you want me to stop? I'm sorry, I joined in late, so I would not know.
We can take a couple of more topics. We don't have the professional speech today.
Okay, then I will take on my nemesis, Mukesh Thakur. Mukesh, for you, I will really have to search for a topic because there isn't a quote that I have not shared with you. Okay, so here is a quote that I heard during one of my jobs. Mukesh, this is around humor, and I'm trying to make it rhyme. The best way to quell a rumor is to use humor. The best way to quell or destroy a rumor is humor. Mukesh.
Thank you very much. I just remembered a joke when there was one person in my village, and who was considered to be the person who would not remember anything, and he would be reaching out to each and every person of the village and telling him about the other people, like do you know this person has did this, this person has done that. The point has reached to a moment when that person forgotten that who has shared that information to him, and ultimately he ended up telling the same information to that person only. And this was the moment when he realized what was the mistake, because the person who had started talking to him asked, where did you get this information? And he had already forgotten how he got this information. And this is how the impression of that person who got into the entire village, that you do not have to believe in this person anymore. Similarly, there was one of my friends who would be adamant, if he knew something, he would be adamant on that fact, and he would not go for the logic. He was telling me something. There was an argument going on between me and him, and he said, no, this will happen in this way exactly, and I was defending that fact in another way, and he was not understanding what I am saying. I was saying what were my logic. Finally, I asked, where did you get this information that this will happen in this way only? He thought for a moment, and then he realized that the earlier statement was given by me only to him. And when I was contradicting my statement, he was not coming to my logic. So this is the way that we have to stop listening to everything that we listen to. If we have to get rid on the rumors, we need to apply a bit of our sense, common sense, that is not so common in today's scenario. And let's be more realistic, more logical. Back to the table topics, Master.
Thank you, Mukesh. I seem to have run out of speakers. So, Rolly, if you would like a topic, because I don't have another speaker, I've asked almost everyone.
Sure. Then
Okay. So the last topic that I have for Rolly, it's a topic that I've kept for a prepared speech. So I would love some ideas. Okay. Rolly Sinha, you cannot spend the rest of your life impressing people. You cannot spend the rest of your life impressing people. Rolly Sinha.
thank you. I was very young in school and I was an introvert. I've always been an introvert. And I used to feel very scared because I felt that I was surrounded by geniuses and pretty people. And I was neither a beauty nor having any brains. And I would do a lot of things to try and impress people so that I could get some friends. I have to say this, you may find this extremely funny, you may pity me, and I'll take both, laughter as well as the pity and the sympathy. Once I actually pretended to have a boyfriend just so that people would think that I am attractive and likable. I was so in my own head, I felt that all I had to do was get this world around me to accept me, and then my life in this world would be validated. My existence would have some meaning. Somewhere along the line, I developed a very rebellious attitude, and everything that I was told, I would do exactly the opposite. To this day, I am a big contrarian. The introvert part does remain, but the contrarian has superseded everything else. And I can faithfully say that you cannot spend the rest of your life trying to impress others. Do not spend even a single moment of your life trying to impress others. It will not give you any happiness, even if they got impressed. Because in your heart, you would know that what you're trying to impress them with is not really true about you.
Excellent, Rolly.
Mr.
You gave, so I'm just going to give you your evaluation since you'll be not be able to evaluate yourself. And with that, I'll close. I think it was an excellent take on the topic. And I loved that story about that fictional boyfriend you had. And I totally empathize with you that you are an introvert. I am an introvert. A lot of people do not believe that. A lot of people find that hard to believe. The only recommendation that I could give you is that even when you were telling your story, you were trying to search for the next sentence, which was that you were trying to construct a story as you were going along. So the story is something that you've experienced before. So you might want to take care of that. With that, I will end my table topic session and I will take your leave from this meeting. Sorry, I have an emergency at home. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. Mr. President, is it okay? Then shall I take the meeting forward?
Yeah, Rolisina, DTM as a general evaluator, now you can take the meeting over. And after that,
Thank you.
once your general evaluation session is over, you can please hand over to me.
Sure, we'll do that. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we are towards the end, but definitely it's just a concluding segment of any meeting. It is not the place where any Toastmasters journey comes to an end. In fact, it takes on a new beginning. It's the evaluation segment, so that we understand where we are conquering our obstacles and ensuring that we are coming out on top, and those places where maybe some of the little stones are still hurting us and need to be smoothened out. We shall begin with the evaluations of the two speeches. While we were listening to the two speeches, we got a chance to note down our feedback, some recommendations, some commendations about our two speakers. One by one, I shall be inviting them to the stage, and they'll be calling you on to the stage to share your feedback. And please ensure that there are only 5 minutes which every speaker will have to collect feedback from everyone. So let's make sure that we are giving a feedback that has not already been covered. And second, we are brief. After that, we'll be collecting reports from our impromptu tag team and ensure that we learn these lessons most definitely, because these are people who do not know us that well and will therefore hopefully not be lenient towards us and give us the true picture. After that, I'll be sharing my own observations. So let's begin with our first speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur. Please begin taking the feedback from the audience. To the timer, I just like to point out that the timing that has been allocated for every speaker to take feedback is 5 minutes. So green card should be shown at 3 minutes, and at the 4th minute, we show the yellow card, and finally the red card at 5 minutes. Distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur, the stage is all yours.
Thank you very much. Can I start my evaluation from a member who is a member for 20 years, Petra? Feedback for my speech.
Oh,
briefly.
I'm sorry. Are you calling me?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm running late for my appointment. Could I please give my grammarian report first? Or otherwise I will have to skip it. I have to go to my appointment.
Okay,
sure. Yes. Toastmaster Petra, are you a distinguished Toastmaster by any chance? I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So distinguished Toastmaster Petra, please share your grammarian's report. And if you have any comments for Toastmaster Mukesh's speech, Elysium, you can include those comments as well. Please go ahead with your report. The report will be timed. No, it's perfectly all right. The report will be timed for 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for your understanding, your empathy, the best knowledge. Okay. So actually, I am assigned right now at the beginning of the meeting to be an impromptu grammarian, and I'm very humbled, very honored to do that. I found that everyone's English is so good. I could not find any mistakes or misuse. I would like to mention though the things that I really love about your use of English. When Madame Toastmaster of the Day took charge, oh no, I mean, Mr. President, distinguished Toastmaster Raj, you began your duty with storytelling about the guy who was late and he was asked by the boss to explain, and actually he himself spotted the boss at the movie house as well. So your story prompted me to think of the saying that I think it's quite nice. So it's like when you do something bad, don't mention that to other people in another word, you can we can use don't throw stone if you live in a glass house. If you live in a glass house, don't throw stones because you are also very vulnerable. And another saying is that if you are a pot, don't call a kettle black. A pot in the old time is also black. And all of you have been using beautiful, beautiful English. I love the way Madam Toastmaster today was using the word adversity, setback, failures. I don't have to explain that because it was thrown to the audience, and all of the audience members have helped in explaining the words very clearly. So I really appreciate Madam Toastmaster today doing that. And the words unique was used, external, blame yourself. The word request was used many times, and I love it because it's so polite, so nice to hear. And the word overcome, expert, all of that. I'm sorry for not a perfect job today, but I will try to do it better next time. And I hope you will let me attend your meeting again at the next meeting. I really like your meeting, and I have learned so much from everyone. And I really love the table topic session. Was so deep, and everyone answered very well. I appreciate being at your meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Petra.
Thank you.
I
Got to
hope that
leave?
you, yes, please do
Yeah,
return.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
No, I was just telling you that I hope to see you next time because your feedback is quite invaluable. Your presence itself it lights up the atmosphere. I hope that you come back soon.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye. All right, distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur, I think we will give a restart to your session for taking feedback from the audience members.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I start with you only?
Sure. So I found, first of all, the title extremely intriguing, and I was curious how it was going to connect to your speech. I found myself waiting because for a long time, I still could not connect Elysium with the story that you were telling. But the way you brought about it and established that connection, I was very happy with it. It was an emotional and very touching story, no doubt about it. I think that we can get rid of words like, phrases like, he said, she said, my mother said. Instead of that, just use dialogues, because I believe that will really become a very powerful delivery instead of sounding like a narration. So that would be one. Also, once you brought in the character, then you can give more character to that character by using the stage. Like you would demarcate one portion of the stage to your mother, one portion of the stage to your teacher, one portion of the stage to yourself when you are realizing certain things. You could use voice modulations. For example, your mother's pitch might go up a little high, or when she's like sad that she's not able to pay the fees, that part can be a little low as in pace as well as in volume. When we are using, like, I know that one of your goals is to build vocal variety. So towards the end, I would love it if you build the entire thing to a crescendo, so that we end on a high note, not just with words, but also with tone and tune, so that the entire feeling that I am left with is that these lessons are important. These experiences are important because they give so much value to us. I have to compliment your usage of the language is so good. The phrase that you had, destiny had something else in its wallet for me. It's so unusual, and it is such a nice way of saying things. I am really happy that I heard your speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Such an elaborated evaluation.
I just took
And
advantage.
inspirational speech. Thank you. Tisya, I would like to hear from you.
All right. It's always a pleasure to hear to your speeches. And today was a great day too, because you were very comfortable while expressing your emotions. And it was well relevant that you were well rehearsed and you were very comfortable with your facial expressions too. I could see the pain you wanted to show to us, and that's commendable. You had a great voice modulation, and I could feel all the emotions you wanted to express to us through it. The only thing I feel is that due to this COVID time and all this online scenario, we are not able to practice our body language well, which is the problem that sometimes we tend to forget when we are talking to someone offline modes. So I would just recommend you to, whenever possible, just stand and try to use your body language as frequently, because it will just make you in a habit of using it. Otherwise, all in all, it was a well rehearsed speech. I loved the way you expressed everything you wanted to express, and I was happy with all the things other except some glitches, but you were amazing today.
Thank you very much. Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. You are mute.
Thank you, Mukesh, for asking for my evaluation. I felt that your speech was good as far as the content and the body and development and the growth and everything is concerned. I just felt that you should have stood and delivered this speech, because many body gestures were not coming as per the requirement, and your facial expressions were flat. I didn't feel that the emotions which were there in the content were there on your face. A well delivered speech, but speech, if this speech had been delivered while standing and with some movements on this virtual stage, that would have added feather to the cap. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tisya, you are timing it, right? Yeah, thank you. Sonu, are you there? Sonu Chetri?
Yes, hi Mukesh.
Yeah, you were there at the time of my speech.
Yes, I was there, but I was struggling a bit with my technology, and so it would be unfair on my part if I give you my feedback next time.
No
Sorry.
problem, no problem. Seema?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I found your speech quite captivating, full of motivation. It showed the power of compassion of a teacher towards a student. And it also showed that world is filled with good people also, who do not only work for money, rather who build the nation. And they are the teachers in the real sense. Now, coming on to the part where I feel improvement is required, or if taken the actions, your speech can reach to new dimensions. Number one is grammar. I found a lot of grammatical errors when it comes to construction of the sentences. Number two, pronunciation. I feel room is there to improve on. Last but not the least is little work on your diction and the voice modulation. In synopsis, I feel if you follow the Cambridge or you listen to podcast or you listen to the great speakers, even if Toastmaster Championships, I'm sure it is going to help you out and it will help you to open your mouth wide, because I have noticed most of the time whenever you speak, you do not open your mouth wide. As a result, your speech, though it is clear, but it is not that much clear where it can reach to everyone's ear. And being a speaker, it is our responsibility to make each and every one glued. And yes, to some extent, you could do it. And if you incorporate these points, the sky is going to have a limit for you. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Sima. That was really helpful. I will try to open my mouth more. And thank you for all the evaluations. Time is not over yet, but I have received the entire feedback from all the audience. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur, and all the folks who so candidly and so helpfully shared their evaluations. Now we will invite on stage our second speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta, so that he can collect his feedback from the audience members. Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta.
Thank you, General Evaluator, role is in a DTM. I would like to take my first evaluation from my colleague, my co-speaker, Mukesh Thakur DTM.
Thank you, Raj sir. It was entertaining speech. It was, first of all, I was very interested in your title of the speech. I could not find the connection between the speech and the title. I might be missing something. Still, coming to the speech, it was interesting because you brought the entire story. Most of us are relating to it. Rather, even I am receiving such calls, not in this form, but another forms. My recommendations are only limited to a few. Maybe it is related to a structure. Try to start with something and conclude it on the same thing. In the meanwhile, connecting each part of the speech with one another. And the second recommendation was about grammar. I found sometimes he and she was exchanged with themselves. So maybe a bit more mindful when you are using a dialogue. Maybe you can use Rolly's feedback, and that we don't have to say he said or she said. You just use the dialogues. Otherwise, good entertaining speech. I just want it a bit more structured so that I just keep getting key lessons out of your speech.
Thank you, Mukesh. Now may I request Dolly Sina DTM to give her feedback about my speech.
Sure, sir. So I thought that just to elaborate on the point the distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh brought up, I felt that the beginning of your speech and the title of your speech were slightly connected, but both of those were slightly disconnected from the rest of your speech. So it seemed to be two parallel lines on which the speech train was running. And having said that, these were two solid points by themselves. So it's not as if I felt that one was overshadowing the other. It just didn't seem like one speech. And I empathize with you because of the horrific experience that you had and the disappointment that you had to face. I felt that emotion could be brought out a little more strongly because you would have definitely felt it. So don't restrain yourself in that and express it so that we as an audience can also feel it. Otherwise, I feel that I am sympathizing and now it's seeming like pity for you because you're not giving me that sorrow in return so that my sympathy can be justified. I think that Another thing, it's a very, very small thing. The way Joey says, "How you doing?" So there is a certain style to it. Okay. You tried it, and I admire you for that try. But if that part is not going to come and elevate your speech, Joey is not important to your speech. You are. There are so many things that you do in your everyday life when you are being a little charismatic. So bring that. You don't have to labor on these. Thank you.
Thank you. May I request Tisya about your feedback about about my speech?
All right. So one day I was going through some videos, and there I found a particular video which made my heart, like, it really broke. There were these small business owners, and they are getting scammed every day. There are spectators sitting online, and they love cyberbullying people, which literally makes me feel like, why are these people even there in this world? They are just not what we expect humanity to be. So I totally could relate to your situation too. I felt really bad at the end of the speech for all the bad things you had to go through. And you used such a vivid description of everything that I could feel like the scene is going in front of me, that how you took that old furniture and the way you tried to sell it. And uh, coming to some recommendations I felt, the first one, as already mentioned by both of the previous evaluators, is that I felt like your topic was a bit odd to your speech. It was not in tune. So it was indeed funny. Like, I know you must have tried to bring humor through it, but just try to make some relation in the speech with your topic so that it does not look offbeat. And the other thing I felt was that I you can try improving some of your facial expressions so that it can make us feel like, yes, you literally you were in sorrow at that time, and you've still not overcome all that. I know you're a strong human being and you must have overcome that all the things you went through, but try to make some sad facial expressions so that we can feel that sorry for you in your face. Rest, it was amazing speech, and again, it was a wonderful thing to that you did to make us well aware of the situation going right now in the world. And that's it.
Thank you, Tisya. With this, I would like to conclude my evaluation and over to general evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta, and thank you, Tisya, for joining me in providing that evaluation. I felt that the evaluations were helpful. I think that the evaluators did try to be as specific as they could be so that the speakers can implement that feedback correctly and efficiently in their future speeches. And we should continue with our listening techniques. We should be a little more alert to the speaker when they're on stage, and it is a wonderful way to ensure that everybody is listening, and we should not take that power of round robin evaluations away from it. That's about the prepared speeches. Now coming to the impromptu speeches, I felt that we had a fantastic start. We had Tisya telling us about why change is the only constant. She had a story. She had like a one-line opinion. She had a story. And I gained a number of lessons through her table topic. The first lesson was how she stuck to her determination. She wants to change the school and she will do it. That confidence that she had in herself was mind-blowing and a lesson for me as an adult. I love the fact that she stood up and delivered the topic, adjusted the camera angle to make sure that she was still visible. The seriousness and discipline with which she carried that entire table topic out, I feel if I would do at least like 50% of this, I would be very much better than what I am today as a table topic speaker. There's so much to learn from her. And the way she handled the table topic itself, like having a story in your mind so fast, so relatable, and so quick and on the point. It's just phenomenal. I really need to learn this. And thank you for providing that lesson, Tisha. Then we had Avantika, who came in and she had her own take on the fact that did the great minds get it right even the first time, even though it had come after numerous tries. That was another elevation to the perspective that we've always had, that you have to keep on trying and only then will you succeed. So it was a elevation to that. And I think that in this case, a story would have really enhanced the interest value for this topic. Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta took on a teacher is a learner first, and I really appreciate him for saying that not just a teacher, everybody is a learner first, because if we don't learn, then how will we impart any knowledge? That was so very well done. I also like that he ended with learning from the incubatees and success and failure. So it was a very well-rounded topic. Again, I think the story that he had could have been enhanced a little bit more with some incident so that we would have a better interest value in that. For Priyanka and Sonu Shetty, because they were talking on very similar topics, the feedback that I have is again very, very similar, very well handled, very composed. Both of them shared their own experiences. Both of them related it to Toastmasters. Coincidentally, both were talking on similar topics. Both are people who've been absent from Toastmasters and miss it, and they want to come back. So it was so very, very similar. I felt that the way they proved their own topics, it was very well done. So I don't have any recommendations there, except that, yes, we can showcase a little more confidence, even if we are not feeling it so well inside. Then Seema had the topic that the best apology is change behavior. And she gave her own reasons for why this is true. She paraphrased the Bible. She quoted Mahatma Gandhi. So all in all, it was a meaty topic. Again, a small story to highlight it would have added a lot of value. Petra Chorador, DTM, had a very thought-provoking topic, actually. I really liked it. I did not know that she would come up with such a surprising statement, because the pause after that statement, can you imagine a class of 20, 30 students? And then she paused. And now I'm like waiting, okay, where is she going with this? So it was nice. And I think she exemplified the topic very well. Distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur had his own take on how to use humor. He uses humor all the time. So yes, why not to use it for quelling the rumor? The topic that he had and the story that he chose, they both went well together, except the specifics were missing. When you say this person said that it will happen this way, now there are so many pronouns in it that the impact is getting lost. Even if it is something that's just coming to you in like half a second, and you're not very comfortable saying such a specific detail in public, I think little bit of detail would still work. without disclosing who said it to you and the complete incident. I think that privacy can still be maintained while making sure that it is not all generalized, because that dilution is not going to help increase the impact. I already got my feedback from distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh, and I feel that I will try my best to work upon it. That the fact that I'm recalling what had happened uh, about 38 years ago, I should be able to do it faster so that it doesn't feel as though I'm making up a story. I didn't make up a story, but yeah, it takes you a while to go like that many number of years. And I am very happy with the grammarian report that was already presented. And now I'd like to invite our counter, distinguished Toastmaster Seema, soon to be distinguished Toastmaster, to the stage and present her Countess report.
Thank you, ma'am. So I'm ready with my counter report. First of all, the opening was done by Raj Mehta sir. So he had made 1 a, 2 or, 3 so, and 1 and thereafter he spoke on, like, this word was repeated, that is then, 4 times, and was used more than 10 times. Now coming on to TMOD, she used now for 3 times, for 1 time, and so for 1 time. Coming on to the speeches, Mukesh Thakur sir used for 1 time and 3 times. Table topic, Rupinder sir, he made and 4 times, and also used for 7 times. Again, he used so for 4 times and that for 2 times. Coming on to the table topic speakers. First speaker, that was Avantika. She made 1 a, 2 1 but, and so. Second, second was Avantika. The first one was, I'm sorry, I could not write the name. The third one was Raj Mehta sir. Again, he made 6 ands. Number 4 speaker was Priyanka Gupta. She had not made any of the so far I observed. Number 5th speaker, Sonu Chetri, the guest. He made 3 R's, 4 so's, and 3 ands. Number 6, I could not notice. If any of you had noticed, please let me know. I'll be grateful. Number 7 was Petra, and she could make only 1 and. Now coming on to the, yes, few more. Mukesh Thakur sir, he made more than 10 ands while speaking on the table topic, and 2 we. Roli ma'am made 6 and 1 because and 1 Coming on to general evaluation, again, Roli ma'am made more than 20 types and she used more than 20 times so that more than 4 times, and that for 3 times, because again more than 4 times. Coming on to the feedback, which was given as a grammarian from DTM Petra, she used and more than 4 times. Tisha, she had used and for more than 8 times, 4 times, so 1 time. Raj Mehta sir, 1 and 1 he had used. And Mukesh sir used 2 ands and 4 hours. All in all, this is the report, and I would suggest all of us to record ourselves as far as possible, because subconsciously we do use all these filler words, because when we are collecting the data or we are collecting our thoughts, these fillers take place. So in order to avoid it, as I stated, first record yourself or be a little louder so that subconsciously you will notice yourselves and you will correct yourself. With this, I'm done with the report. Over to General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Seema. And I hope that all of us will use Toastmaster Seema's suggestion and go back to the recording of this meeting and identify the superfluous use of any filler words. I can totally understand that the use of our sounds would have been extremely distracting for our audience members. But I hope that the number of times that we counted the word and because or any other word like that was counted because it should not have been used in that context. For example, in this sentence, when I say because it should not have been used in this context, the word because is required. So I hope that we are not just
Yes,
rejecting
ma'am.
all
Yes,
usages.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, yes.
So definitely we need to go back to the recording and identify why we are indulging in all those uses and what we can substitute instead of using those words. Thank you for that food for thought, Toastmaster Seema. And now we'll switch to Toastmaster or Gavelier Tisya for helping us out in our time of need and sharing the timer's report card with us. Thank you.
Much general evaluator. So I've decided to award you all with the timer cards. That is, I will be giving you who is the winner of the green card, who is the winner of the yellow card, and who is the winner of the red card. So first of all, I will be starting with the green award winners. That is Toastmaster Priyanka, and she was 1 minute 12 seconds long. Coming to the yellow cards, it's me, Toastmaster Tessia, and I have been speaking from 1 minute 52 seconds. Next is Toastmaster Avantika. She spoke for 1 minute 34 seconds. The last one is Toastmaster Sonu, who spoke for 1 minute 34 seconds. Now coming to the red card holders, starting with Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur. In the speech, his speech was 7 minutes 4 seconds long, and his table topics was 2 minutes 30 seconds long. So you need to get a little bit low one because it's really at the last moment. Next is Toastmaster Raj Mehta. His speech was 7 minutes 13 seconds long, and his table topics was 2 minutes 18 seconds long. Toastmaster Seema, she spoke for 2 minutes 6 seconds in the table topics. Toastmaster Petra, who spoke for 2 minutes 21 seconds, and Toastmaster Roli, who spoke for 2 minutes 6 seconds in table topics. Now coming to the grammarian and the R counter report, the grammarian gave her report for 3 minutes 12 seconds, and the R counter gave her report for 3 minutes 23 seconds. The evaluation session held by Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur was 7 minutes 52 seconds long, while for Toastmaster Raj Mehta was 6 minutes 59 seconds long. And all in all, the general evaluation was 6 minutes 17 seconds long. The meeting started on time, and which is commendable, and I wish it will end at time too.
Tisya, are you a Toastmaster yet or are you a
No, I'm
Gavelier?
just a Gavelier.
Okay, no, you're a remarkable Gavelier and a remarkable speaker. So thank you so much for coming to our meeting and making it very eventful and much more useful than it might have been if you had not been there. Thank you so much for that. My own feedback for the rest of the meeting, I've already covered the evaluations and the R counter and timers reports and grammarians reports. I think that we missed the mission statement in the beginning, and the story that was used by our president connected to the theme. It had a thought-provoking nature to it, which is much appreciated. I like the fact that he followed through with all the other components. I think we can do a little better. That's not a feedback for our president, but for all of the members of the club to ensure that the slides if they are not going to be present, should be either hidden by themselves, or the information must reach the president in time so that that task can be taken care of without making it a last minute exercise. To the president, I just had like one slight hitch that when the handover was being done to invite the Toastmaster of the meeting to the stage, at that time he said, "Welcome Sonika Jha," and then there was a pause, which would make anybody assume that the handover is to be done at that instant. However, then he went on to share her introduction, which is required. So perhaps we can just ensure that the introduction is shared first, and then in a smooth fashion, we can say, "Welcome, Sonika Jha," because the next time when he invited her, there was a remarkable difference, and he reached that crescendo that I was looking for in distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh's speech while inviting the Toastmaster of the day to the stage. So I think that was very well done. Just that slight hitch of a pause, maybe done away with. The rest of the meeting has gone on fairly okay, all things considered. I think we should still make it a mandate for all the members of the club who are attending the meeting to play the roles if they cannot be handled or the role players are not there. Because it was not a very smooth allocation or assignment of role for the grammarian. And I don't know whether distinguished Toastmaster Petra has visited us earlier or not, but today she seemed really confused, and hats off to her that despite her confusion, she did her best, and her humility and her grace really came forth in the way she delivered the report. But we can do perhaps a little better. Whoever is there in the meeting, let them just take the role, no matter which other role they are doing. Because we are senior Toastmasters, we've been doing this for a long time. We know that when we have to take up dual roles, then it requires a lot of things. Today, we did not have a word of the day. But I would like everybody to raise their hand and say, "Oh my God, I really missed it." So instead of having this awkwardness, we can just do away with it. Let it be, or decide, okay, if our counter is more important, we ask for our counts. If the grammarian report is much more important, then we ask for a grammarian's report. And let's choose. So there are many other, I think, more graceful ways of handling this particular situation. Also, I wasn't sure, maybe I'm confused with something. I thought that the Toastmaster of the meeting would be continuing towards the end and then finally conclude the theme and hand over the stage to the general evaluator. But it seemed that after the table topics session was introduced, the Toastmaster of the day session had ended. And I'm not sure, is that how we are planning to do things? And that's something that I can be told later after the meeting has been officially closed. For now, I'm glad that we truly embraced it. This entire meeting is an epitome of that. That's all that we have done. Today we have embraced all the changes that came our way and made sure that the meeting would take place no matter what, and we have successfully completed it. I'm very proud of the 6 people who are here right now. And I think Priyanka is there somewhere in the background. So thank you for Priyanka as well. And I'm glad that I came. I'd like to now invite our distinguished president, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta to the stage so that he can deliver the closing address and take feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roli Sinha, distinguished Toastmaster Roli Sinha, as the general evaluator. And we came to know what is the things what are the things which we require, which we must do, and we shall of course be working on it. Let us first take the feedback from the guests. May I request Sonu Chetri to give his feedback about the meeting.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, Raj sir. I
Hello.
think Rollis and our general evaluator has given an elaborative feedback, and I think nothing more to add on that. Thank you, and it's been nice to see you again after a break.
Thank you, Sonu, and I would just advise you to keep coming, be your guest till the time you want to be a guest, and as soon as you feel that you want to join us as a member, just contact Mukesh Thakur, DTM. He is our VP membership. Thank you.
Sure, sir.
May I now request Priyanka?
She's not here.
Okay.
You can
Tisya?
ask this, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
For me, being in this club and just talking to you all is like the best thing I could ever wish for. In fact, don't tell mom, when she was busy and I was saying like they are calling you and all, she said go and sit. You become the active member today for the today meeting, and I will be the passive one. I'll come and go and I'll do whatever. I was so happy. I was like, finally, I am able to attend PS meeting. It's always such a great learning experience from whenever I come to your club, and I'm very happy that today too I learned numerous things. I made a list like everything you spoke, and it was a great learning experience for me. And I wish that I just turned 18 and I join your club as soon as possible. So thank you.
Thank you, Tisya. I would also like to thank especially to you for taking up the on-the-spot role of timer, and it has been or I would say our luck that you were there and you said yes to the role of the timer. Thank you very much. Okay, do we have, yeah, Seema, soon to be member, Toastmaster Seema.
Yeah, I believe I am in the process. I really don't know. Mukesh Thakur sir will let me know, or maybe Rupinder sir. Today, I really love the charisma of Roli ma'am. The knowledge she possesses made me felt, yes, I have taken a right decision to be here. Because people who inspired me the most, like I am a person who looks for a lot of improvements, and you know what, I feel that no one be what one cannot see. And reason behind being here is your connoisseur, like, you know, you all are connoisseur, and the knowledge you possess, the nitty-gritty you pay attention to. So thank you for giving me such great environment. Learning is a lifelong process, and I'm glad that I have been part of all of yours this meeting. And yes, would keep coming back and keep learning as long as you all allow. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Seema. Thank you for coming here and taking up the role. And of course, you are going to be member very soon. And of course, we shall be having many more roles, bigger roles for you. Thank you very much. Do we have no guests? No. Okay, members, Roli and Mukesh. Your feedback, how was the meeting? Very briefly.
Mukesh sir.
Yeah, I'm just thankful to our supplementary evaluators, especially the guests who came as the survivors for the meeting. And this is the time when we need to introspect. Our members need to be more active. And when we see that when we make a rule that people have to join meetings, then it means that we have to attend the entire meeting, not just come for some time and then do the role and just leave. So we need to be more introspective. We need to work more on our membership.
Of course. Thank you. Roli.
So I think I have shared my feedback in the general evaluators report. So nothing further to add there.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here, for being part of the meeting, playing roles and taking the meeting till the end. I'm thankful to all of you and wish you all a very happy week ahead. With this, I would like to close the meeting and say, using the words of Mukesh Agudetiya, our next meeting starts now.
Now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ending the meeting for all.
Yes.
Wait, networking session. We
So
completed our
maybe
meeting
we can-
just on time.
Yeah.
So,
So we
so
can
I'm
stop the recording.